Hi and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make sticky toffee pudding cake. This is a fantastic recipe and really tasty, and hopefully all these ingredients are going to turn into something wonderful. So should we get started? The first thing you need to do before you even start making the cake is to get 200 grams of dates, which I have got here, and I have chopped them up into that sort of size chunk. In here I've got 250 ml of boiling water, and I'm going to pour that over my dates. I'm going to add a teaspoon of this Camp coffee essence. It's got chicory, it just adds a nice flavour to the dates. There we go, there's a teaspoon. Now the dog's quiet. I'm going to add a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. I'm going to give it a stir round. I'm just going to leave this now for 20 minutes, and that will help soak up and plump up the dates, and I'll just get on with the rest of the cake. I'm going to use my big machine again. And the first thing I'm going to put in is 125 grams of softened butter. There we go. And the next thing is 200 grams of soft brown sugar. Put this down, find the cover. Let's remember what happened last time. I managed to cover myself in flour. I'm not going to do that again this time. Here goes, let's turn it on. I've mixed this now and it's all pale and creamy, and I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of golden syrup. Now I've heated the spoon up in some hot water to make it easier to come off the spoon. There's one. Second one. Right. I might save that and then lick it clean later, because I love golden syrup. I can put that in that bowl and have it later. And now I'm going to mix it again to get the golden syrup mixed through. The next thing I'm going to do is add 3 eggs. That's what goes in next. There's 3 in this recipe. I brought them up to room temperature. When you're making a cake, bring them up to room temperature. They seem to work better in your cake. And this is basically it's just an ordinary cake recipe until you get to the end bit. So you do this just the same as you would any other cake. Beat the eggs, and luckily this time I'm getting good at this. I haven't dropped any egg shell in them. Here we go. I'm now going to turn the motor on, and I'm gradually going to add the eggs a little bit at a time until they're fully combined with the mixture that's in here. This is all mixed, and it does look a bit curdled because it is more of a batter. I'm going to take the blade out, scrape everything off, everything off, because we don't want to waste any cake mixture, because this is going to taste gorgeous when it's finished. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sift in the flour. This is plain flour, it's 250 grams, and I've stuck the label on the bottom so you can see it. And this is 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Now it should have 250 of self-raising flour, but I've been unable to get self-raising flour because there's a shortage at the moment, so I've just used plain flour. If you want to change plain flour into self-raising, it's normally 2 teaspoons to every 150 grams of flour. So you could just keep plain flour in your house. I think I'm getting this everywhere. There we go. Let's move those out of the way. And now with a big metal spoon, I'm just going to fold the flour into the batter. As you fold it in, you know, as it was very runny to start with, and as you fold it in, it sort of becomes more like how you would expect a creamed cake recipe to go. And there we have it. And that's the basis for our sticky toffee pudding cake. All that's left now is to add the dates. The dates have been soaking now for 20 minutes in their lovely coffee mixture. I'm now going to add those to this, and it is going to go really runny and sloppy. Don't worry about it. It'll all firm up again in the oven. So here goes. Let's just scrape that one last one in. All you need to do now is to fold the dates into your cake mixture. Keep cutting and folding until it's all incorporated. And the last thing that's left to do is to put it in our cake tin. This is an 8-inch or 20.5 centimetre springform tin, which I have base lined and lined the edge. And I just pour this in. I think that's the last bit. Spread around reasonably evenly, and all that's left to do now is to stick it in the oven at 180, and it goes in for about 55 minutes until well risen and a skewer comes out clean. There we go. Let's put this in the oven. While the cake's in the oven, I'm going to make the gorgeous, delicious toffee topping for this. And to start with, I'm putting, I think this is about 100 grams of soft brown sugar into my bowl. Here's some butter. There that goes in. And lastly, 100 ml of double cream. Now this is quite a nice packet because it's got them marked on the side, so I'm just going to do it by eye and go down to about there. So here goes. A bit more. A bit more. There. And that's the basis for my toffee. I'm now going to put it on the hob, let it all melt, and then bring it up to a simmer. Once the sugar and the butter have melted together into the cream, and it's all gone all smooth and you can't feel any granular bits at the bottom, just let the caramel slowly come to a simmer and simmer it for 3 to 4 minutes. Once that's over, take it off the heat and leave it to cool completely, and then once that's cold, we'll add the mascarpone cheese. We've made the cake, we've made the caramel sauce, and now we're going to make our lovely cream topping. In this bowl I have 4 tablespoons of mascarpone cheese, which I'm just going to mash slightly with a fork just to loosen it up. And now I'm just going to gradually add some of my caramel sauce into it. Right, there's that. Now I'm just going to stir this through. What we're after is a lovely, smooth, creamy, thick frosting for our cake. The thing with mascarpone cheese, it does have a very high fat content, so it is prone to splitting. So unless it's, you know, it's been kept in the fridge and hasn't been messed around with when you buy it, you know, it can split. But this is fresh off the shelves, and look at that. Doesn't that look absolutely gorgeous? And now it's ready to decorate our cake with. There we have our gorgeous cake, and now we have our lovely mascarpone topping. Now I'm just going to spread this over the top of my cake. It doesn't matter if you've got little bits not quite mixed in. It adds to the homemade look of your cake. I'm going to put it all on the top, and then I'm going to use my knife, put that over there, to spread it round. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to gradually bring it round and down the sides of the cake. It does take a little bit of time doing this, but it's quite therapeutic. I suppose some people would call it mindfulness, but it is, you know, just take your time, spin it round. If you've got a turntable, use that, because it does make it easier. And get it all around the sides and down to the base of the cake. Doesn't it look delicious? I can't wait to have a taste of this. It looks so tasty. I don't think you can wait either, can you? You're looking forward to having a nice big slice of this cake. I'm down on my crew at the moment. There's just myself and my son. Normally I have another member, but he's in isolation at home, so he doesn't get to have any of this, and he's going to be so disappointed because he's the one that generally eats most of the cakes and the pastries. In fact, it's a bit of a, he just loves cake. But I will send him a photograph of it just to make him jealous. If you can't be bothered to add the mascarpone cheese, you could just pour your caramel sauce over the top and decorate it with some little fudge bits. It would taste just as wonderful. This is just an extra rich topping. And I have to admit, I could probably eat the topping all on its own because it is gorgeous. I should think it'd be quite nice on some ice cream actually. See, I'm thinking of other things to make with this topping. Now it's all frosted, I'm going to add some decorations. I would normally put little fudge bits on the top, but I couldn't get any yesterday. So what I've got here is a mixture of fudge and white chocolate and just bits and pieces that I think would look nice sprinkled on top of the cake. It's all different colours. It just adds a little bit of texture. Looks quite pretty, doesn't it? There we go. I'm trying to get some around the edgy bits. There we go. There, I think that's enough. Right. There we have it, my sticky toffee pudding cake. Now all we have to do is take a slice and see what it tastes like. Well, there it is, all done, and I've cut myself a slice, and you can see the dates in there and this lovely topping. All that's left is me to have a taste, and I'm going to have some with the topping because that's my favourite bit. I love sticky toffee pudding, and I really don't see, I've always thought, why can't they make it as a cake? That is gorgeous. It's moist, and the thick creamy topping just goes so well with the cake. I'm going to finish that off in a minute with my cup of tea, and I'd just like to say thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the notification button. and I'll see you all again next time. Thanks. Bye.
So I don't need that?
No. That's my son going up the stairs. Every noise is heard, isn't it? Every time he moves around. It's locked down.
Lockdown.
We watch too much Pointless.
We really do.
I'm just going to lick the spoon. Oh, that's so nice.